So who is Jeffrey Dahmer? All right. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer. Okay, here he is right here. Not a bad looking guy. Pause. Born May 21st, 1960, died November 28th, 1994, and we're going to talk about that as well. Also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster, was an American serial killer and sex offender who committed the murder and dismemberment of 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. Oh, man.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Many of his later murders involved necrophilia, cannibalism, and the permanent preservation of body parts, typically all or part of the skeleton. Okay, necrophilia, guys, is, the sexual urge to have sex with corpses, and cannibalism is the consumption of humans. Okay, and demonetization gone like that. Anyway, although he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, just like a lot of these girls that come on the podcast, schizotypal personality disorder and psychotic disorder, Dahmer was found to be legally sane at his trial. He was convicted of 15 of the 16 murders he had committed in Wisconsin and was sentenced to 15 terms of life imprisonment on February 17th, 1992. Dahmer was later sentenced to a 16th term of life imprisonment for an additional homicide committed in Ohio in 1978. And gentlemen and ladies, this was the first murder he had committed, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail here in a second. And then on November 28th, 1994, Dahmer was beaten to death by Christopher Scarver, a fellow inmate at the Columbia Correctional Institute in Portage, Wisconsin. So for us to be able to understand the individual, we got to go back in time and understand what type of man this guy was, what was upbringing, what led to the creation of the Milwaukee Monster. Okay, so he grew up, guys, in Ohio. All right, and he grew up right here in this house, 4480 Bath Road, Bath, Ohio. And this is like pretty much right outside of Akron. Okay, nice home. Right now it's worth about $415,000. But this home was built in 1952, and I got the Redfin listing here, guys, because so we can get a little bit more details. But this is the home right here. Okay, it's been upgraded quite a bit. So let's see here. Boom. You guys can see here it's been pretty much enhanced. All right. And now, I think nowadays you can like rent the place for $10,000 a month, which is wild. But that's kind of where we're at nowadays. There's a fascination with serial killers. All right, and this is the inside of the home now. All right, and the residence has changed hands several times over the ensuing decades, including multiple times after the killer's 1991 arrest. And I mean that's for obvious reasons, right? People are probably gonna try to either I don't want to be here because someone died here, because he committed his first murder here, guys, in 1978. All right. And the 7-year home has undergone extensive renovations since the days Dahmer lived there, with recent listing photos showing the home complete with modern wooden flooring and stainless steel appliances. Musician Chris Butler bought the home for $244,500 back in 2005, with the rocker telling the Observer, "The house has a great vibe. I mean, after all, the house didn't kill anybody, and I don't believe in ghosts, and there's absolutely no reason to think there's anything untoward here." Butler put the home up for sale for $329,000 in 2012 before later removing it from the market. Okay, and then this is the first murder victim, Stephen Hicks. Rest in peace to him. He was the first of one of Dahmer's 17 victims. And then in 2014, the home was listed once again. This time for $300,000, according to Zillow listing. The home once again failed to find a buyer, and it was again taken down for sale. So I think the important thing you guys need to understand. So here is his mom. Okay. Joyce Dahmer, and here is his father, Lionel Dahmer. So he grew up in an upper middle class home, okay? And his dad was basically a chemist, all right? And his mom was pretty much like a stay-at-home mom. But his mom was crazy, guys. Give me ones in the chat if you guys saw the Netflix series. Give me ones in the chat if you guys saw the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix series. I just want to see kind of what the knowledge is in the chat about the parents, so I don't have to go into like too many details and be redundant if some of y'all didn't see it. Ones if you saw it, twos if you didn't. Ones in the chat if you saw the holy shit. Okay. All right. Resounding ones. Okay, a couple people didn't see it, but it looks like, all right, y'all saw it? Okay, you guys were probably just as disturbed as I was. Like the goddamn video, because I watched that all 10 episodes. I had to fast forward through some parts because it was tough, but like the goddamn video. So, anyway, so his mom, guys, had a bunch of issues. She was extremely erratic. She was using pills when he was a child. And, Lionel believed that a reason why Jeffrey, despite the fact that, he didn't have any abnormalities, with his brain, he felt that she was the reason that he ended up being crazy, okay? And he put a lot of the blame on her. They had marital issues. They fought often. She pulled the knives on him. And this was all, I know this happened in the Netflix series, but it was actually true, okay? The Netflix series was actually fairly accurate according to what actually happened, okay? Yes, Jay Sudiger, I will do Ted Bundy in the future. Good call, right? So he grew up, even though his family was stable financially, it was not stable emotionally, okay? And this is the importance of having the same parents, quite frankly, right? A lot of serial killers come up in fucked up homes. Jeffrey Dahmer was one of the few serial killers, right, that actually grew up in a two-parent household, but his father was away often and his mom neglected him a lot. So Jeff had a lot of issues in school, extremely awkward, very antisocial, didn't have friends. People made fun of him. One of the ways that he would go ahead and get validation from people when he was in school is that he would make noises, okay? And when I say he would make noises, he would act as though he was, how do I say this without getting banned off YouTube? He would just act like he was retarded. Fuck it. I'm just going to say it. He would act like he was retarded. He would make weird noises, right? And the people would be like, ho, 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 and they laugh at him, right? But the key distinction here is that they wouldn't laugh with him. They would laugh at him. And he would do that because he thought, okay, they were going to like me because I'm making them laugh. But the reality is that they would use that to, ostracize him. All right. So that's kind of where he fell in the school situation. Obviously, this isolation drove him a little bit to madness, and he was drinking alcohol. By the time he was a senior in high school, guys, the man was coming to school drunk as fuck. Okay. My man was popping Budweiser heavies, popping Budweisers, right, in class. And, one of the students actually, his classmates asked him, like, what are you doing? He was like, this is my medicine. And he fucking just like pop one out and it's like started drinking it in class. So he gave zero fucks, man. Okay. Being drunk at 7 o'clock in the morning.